Good morning, students. Myself, BK Singh, your science teacher from Oriental Public School, Kishanganj. Students, today we are going to start our new chapter, chapter number 5, and the topic is physical and chemical changes. So, students, in this chapter, we'll understand physical and chemical changes. To understand this one, we should know matter also. So, students, matter is everywhere. And how can we define matter? So, we can define matter that matter is anything that takes up space and has mass. And matter is constantly experiencing two type of chemical and two type of changes. These are chemical and physical changes, students. The physical changes include change in physical state, color, odor, taste, hardness, density, solubility, thermal and electrical conductivity. For example, if you dissolve sugar in water so as to make a solution, a change takes place in sugar and water. Here, sugar changes from solid to solution state or liquid state and disappear. So the taste of water changes to sweet. Similarly, a chemical change includes reaction resulting in the formation of new substances. For example, setting of curd from milk. Sometimes milk turns sour. Iron object rust due to moisture and oxygen of air. When comes hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid come in contact with stone tiles, there is a reaction with evolution of effervescence. Silver objects are blackened due to the presence of hydrogen sulfide gas in atmosphere. Now, students, will discuss physical change in detail. The physical change, first of all, we should know the definition. So, the change is termed as physical change when it is temporarily, the substance remains chemically same and no new substance is formed. So, that is called physical change. That means in physical change, no new substance is formed. And physical change can be characterized by the change are reversible and the change are temporary in nature, and these changes involve energy but usually quite small. And students, we can say that a physical change alters the form of a substance but does not change it to another substance. It changes shape or size. It dissolves. It changes phase, like it freezes, boils, evaporates, condenses. And now we'll discuss some physical changes, taking some example of physical changes like that is conversion of uh, water into ice. That means to how can we use so freezing of water into ice. This is actually a physical change. For this one, we'll take material like ice tray and water, and after that one, we fill the ice tray with water and keep it for some time in the deep freezer in a fridge. When this ice tray is taken out, we find that the water freezes into ice cubes. And in that, what do we observe? So, the identity of the substance, that means water, is not changed, and this change is temporary. That is, after some time, ice melts into water. So, there is no change in mass, and also there is no gain or loss in energy. Thus, we can say that freezing of water into ice is a physical change. Now we can take another example like cutting paper. So when we use a scissor to cut a piece of paper, to take a paper for this one, for this activity we can take one scissors and a piece of paper, and when if we'll cut it, after cutting the piece of paper into two or more parts with the help of scissors, so in that case what we'll observe, if we'll observe the paper pieces, we will find there is no chemical change, there is no changes in the characteristics of paper. Paper is still same as before. So from this one also we can conclude that cutting paper is also the example of physical change. After this, student will discuss, we can see another example like ice melting. In this case also, if we will take a piece of ice and if we'll keep it in the atmospheric temperature, so in that case what we'll find, slowly it will start melting. So it will start melting and come as per time, as the time will pass, it will go on convert into liquid, that is in the form of in water. So this is also the example of physical change, because if we see the characteristics of ice and water, both is same. Only here change is in the physical state. So this is in this case also there is no change in the material or matter, that is in water. Only they are changing their physical state. So here also no new substances is forming, that thus we can say melting of ice is also the example of physical change. We can also see that is sawing wood, that means if we cut a wood piece, log of wood, so in that case also after cutting with the help of saw, it may convert into pieces or in the form of planks. But if you will observe the properties of this wood, pieces of wood, so you will find the property of the wood is same as before. Thus here also no change in property is taking place after cutting the wood. So this also can be said as a physical change. And also another example, dry ice. So dry ice, that is actually it is a solidified form of carbon dioxide. So actually here one property is that carbon dioxide, when it is solidified, it directly convert into ice or solid without passing through the liquid state. And the same reverse is also same, that means when it will be heated, in that case also these dry ice directly convert into gaseous state without passing through the liquid state. So here dry ice has been taken, and if we have kept it in the atmospheric temperature, so what we will observe that it is directly converting into gas, that is it is disappearing slowly because it is converting into carbon dioxide gas without passing through the liquid state. So this here in this case what is happening, actually dry ice, that is also carbon dioxide, and when it is converting into gas, that is also carbon dioxide. So here in the chemical property there is no change at all, only it is changing its physical states. That's why this is also the another example of physical change. Students, there are many more examples of physical changes. It is like a few some of these example like magnetization of iron, that is also a physical change. Lighting of electric bulb is also a physical change. To show that lighting of electric bulb is a physical change, we can do one activity. And for this one, we'll have to take some material like a table lamp, electric bulb, and the method is take a table lamp and fix an electric bulb in it. The filament of tungsten is mounted on V-shaped wire inside the bulb and attach the table lamp with wire to electric socket and switch on the table lamp. So what we'll observe? We'll find that the tungsten filament of bulb becomes white hot and emits light. Now switch off the table lamp. The filament of the bulb regains its original color and does not give light. So finally it has reversed into its origin. So finally what do we say? We say that we can say that no no change takes place in shape of tungsten filament of bulb. When current flowing through it, it becomes hot and gives light. On switching off, the filament returns to its original color. Thus, we can say this change is a physical change. Now, students, we'll discuss chemical change. So, students, chemical change, first of all, what is chemical change? So, we can define it as the change is termed as chemical if it is permanent, not easily reversible, and the identity of the substance is changed, which may result in the formation of one or more new substances. So this is the definition, and students, it have some properties. So these are we can say it is a permanent change. Second property is the composition of substance is changed and results in the formation of new substance. Next property we can say energy is either absorbed or given out during this change. We can take some example like burning of substance in air, ripening of fruits, rusting of iron, charring of sugar, digestion of food, and reaction of acid with substances. We can identify some chemical changes by this method. If anything burns, then we can say that chemical change is taking place. Second thing, the temperature changes without heating or cooling. If it is taking place, that is if change temperature is changing without heating or cooling, that also indicates that the change is chemical change. And also one, that is if bubbles are forming, that also indicates the chemical change. And next is if change in color is taking place. If color is changing, that is also the indication of chemical change. And if precipitate is forming, precipitate actually solid dissolved in or spread in liquid medium is called precipitate. So these are some indication by which we can identify the change is chemical. To understand the chemical changes, we can take example by doing some activities, and for that one we can do one activity like if to show that addition of sodium to water is a chemical change. So material required are a china dish, will have to take a very small piece of sodium and water, and piece of sodium actually it is very reactive substance, that's why we should take very care of this one. And students, method is take a china dish half filled with water, add a very small piece of sodium to it. Reaction starts immediately and results in the formation of two new substances, that is sodium hydroxide and hydrogen with evolution of heat. So observation is that the changes is permanent and non-reversible, and two new substances you can see here. So that is our form, and heat also has evolved. So here the change is a chemical change in nature because there is formation of new substances. Another example or another activity you can say that to show that burning of coal is a chemical change. Material required are coal, tile, matchbox, and method is a few pieces of coal are kept on a tile and burnt in presence of air. A colorless gas is produced which does not burn but help in extinguishing the fire. The colorless gas is carbon dioxide. The observation, they identify the carbon is changed. Identity of carbon is changed and a new substance carbon dioxide is formed with evolution of heat. So from this we conclude that burning of coal is a chemical change. So thank you students for watching this video. Have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe.